Well, it's time, it's here, the Kia Series draft. Finding out who will be in Season 8's class. The drivers who'll make up our last race and play the championship 508s at the Super Speedway. Now the season's winding down, the rumors start to spin. Whispers in the paddock, a chance to win again. Contracts on the table, the future's in their hands. They're waiting for the moment to make their last stand. Tick-tock, you're on the clock. Who will get chosen? 20 cars, free agents, some left out frozen. It's the final time for you all to race. One deep breath, one exhale, time to get out of this place. So here they stand at the cusp of fate. With fire in their eyes they anticipate. Every corner, every straight, they've given their all. Now they're ready, they're waiting for that fateful call. Oh, they're waiting for the call. It's almost time. The Kia Series 1 final grind. From the back of the grid to the championship 5. They're waiting for the call to do or die. Yes, do or die. Yes, do or die. Do or die. Yes, do or die. Do or die. Oh, Season 8, All-Star 8. The Kia draft, here it comes. Well, it's time, it's here, the Kia Series draft. Finding out who will be in Season 8's class. The drivers who'll make up our last race and play the championship 508s at the Super Speedway. Now the season's winding down, the rumors start to spin. Whispers in the paddock, a chance to win again. Contracts on the table, the future's in their hands. They're waiting for the moment to make their last stand. Tick-tock, you're on the clock. Who will get chosen? 20 cars, free agents, some left out frozen. It's the final time for you all to race. One deep breath, one exhale, time to get out of this place. So here they stand at the cusp of fate. With fire in their eyes they anticipate. Every corner, every straight, they've given their all. Now they're ready, they're waiting for that fateful call. Oh, they're waiting for the call. It's almost time. The Kia Series 1 final grind. From the back of the grid to the championship 5. They're waiting for the call to do or die. Yes, do or die. Yes, do or die. Do or die. Yes, do or die. Do or die. Oh, Season 8, All-Star 8. The Kia draft, here it comes.
Well, hello. Welcome back. This is the Kia Series Draft. Hopefully you can hear me. My levels are very high, so if I do sound a bit shouty, do let me know. I'll turn myself up and down. It's been a while. I've made an entire new set of audio tracks for this as well, so it may work, it may not work. So if you are in the comments, let us know. I can see some people watching already, but do let us know if I'm a little bit loud, a little bit too quiet. Do jump into the comments and let me know. My name is Gareth Hall. I'll be guiding you through the season draft. Not the season 9, not quite sure that says season 9. We'll change that to season 8. But it is the season 8 draft. But in fact, well, before we do that, let's see if I can get my co-commentator on the line, because thank you, Harry. Thank you, darling. He's meant to have joined me by now, so I will just try and get him. Mr. Hasselager, where are you?
I'm just currently doing some Assetto Corsa.
You're a little bit late.
Sorry?
The Kia Series draft. We're meant to be streaming right now.
Oh, you needed me to be there.
Well, sure, why not? I thought I didn't.
Oh, wow, well, I'll be on my way, mate.
Okay, well, I'll see you in a second then.
Yeah, sure.
All right, bye bye. Yeah, apologies for my clearly unprofessional colleague there. He'll be joining us very, very shortly. But yeah, it's the draft. It's a slightly different thing we're trying this season, and you can see on screen. And I'm sure when Yuri joins us, hopefully he will join us shortly. He's just joined the Discord, so I'll hopefully be able to hear him. And do let us know if you can hear him too. And I'm going to trust you, Harry. Oh, Jesus, there we are. Well, that is a good point, because you don't actually know too much about this. I've kept quite a lot of... True. Yeah, so here we go. So, was brought in, it was a little bit of an idea that's kind of cooked up in behind the scenes, and the fact that the last 2 seasons in JACKOCAR Kia Series has been not the best. We've not had the greatest of seasons, we've not had the greatest of numbers. We've had various different races where we've had to delve into the Cup Series to pick up some reserves. So, yeah, we're going to change it up a little bit, as we've got Yuri is rather quiet. So we'll turn Yuri up before we get started. Let's see. Can we hear him now? I
sure hope not.
I've turned you right up. So
oh, nice.
We'll wait for the comments to roll in. No Yuri, says Sully, which is always a benefit. But
well, be careful what you wish for.
That is...
I might just quit on you, you know.
Yeah, well, we can only hope, can't we? So
wow, I'm right here, you know.
So they're probably gonna get a double hit at the moment, because there we go. They can now hear you, and they can probably hear you through my headphones as well, because I've got my my other one on. So yeah, so good evening to you. Good evening to Yuri. Thank you for finally joining me. And well, as I said, this is the Kia Series draft, starting for season 8, All-Star 8. We've been calling it. I've been touting it throughout the. You saw the calendar that came out a few months ago, actually, probably probably a couple months ago now. So it is going to make all things change here. There are going to be completely different rules in Kia compared to Cup Series, different format as well, and it's changing for the final season just to mix it up. And as you see, due to the numbers, low attendance, and of course the fact that the Kia Series chat has been an absolute ghost town, so we have decided to mix things up. So we will be drafting an all-star Kia lineup. there will be caveats, which I will explain as we go on, Yuri. And seeing as you're here for the first time, you're going to be, I imagine, watching the stream at the same time as.
Yes, I can't wait for the 50-second delay.
Yes.
Or 30-second delay, but that's fine.
What I'm going to do is I am going to share you my screen in the Discord. So you
right. If that's the case, then bear with me as I quickly swap from PlayStation over to.
Yeah.
the PC.
Well, yes, that would have been ideal. I mean, it's not like I hadn't told you multiple times already this today that I would be sharing.
You just called me off my game, dude.
So, but anyway, the format for this season will be, as you say, the final season of the Kia series. There will be no more racing after that. We anticipate every race to have at least 18, but we will be aiming for 20. Any driver who is not drafted into the initial roster tonight will be listed as a free agent, and they'll be able to sign on a race-by-race basis. If free agents ignore or do not reply to these messages regarding reserve spaces, they will risk losing their place as a free agent as well. However, and this is one of the new things that Cup Series do not have if you reserve in the Cup Series, free agents have the unique ability to be included in the points tally and included in the chase. So, if you are not drafted tonight, don't worry, because you are still technically a driver. Yes, you may not be on the full-time roster. However, how many times do you ever see 20 cars in a race? So we are anticipating that our free agents will get plenty of racing. Remember, 17 races this season in the Kia series, the most of all seasons we've completed so far. If a free agent wins the race, they will take the place of the driver in the lowest position in the playoffs, or in the chase. They will accumulate the most amount of points and go through. So it means, effectively, everyone is involved. You can all score points. Everyone will be involved in this, no matter if you are drafted to a full-time contract or to a free agent.
So, just as a question, and I guess a lot of people have the question, is this a win-only scenario, or can you also have, like, for example, if you participate in 5 out of the 10 regular season races and you score enough points to qualify on points, will you also take a place from a playoff driver?
Yes, and the reason why that is we're bringing in another caveat to the full-time drivers, is that you cannot miss 25% of the races. So there will be 16 races before the Championship 5. If you miss 3, the 4th time you are out, which means, in theory, that if you are a free agent and you've accumulated that amount of points by doing that amount of races, that you effectively would have done almost the same as what the full-time drivers are doing anyway. So you will, it is up to the free agents to overcome the full-timers, and it's up to the full-timers to prove their worth by scoring enough points. So we will eliminate people. Effectively, it is the fastest drivers will make the playoffs, and the fastest drivers will make the Championship 5. That's how it's going to go. It's all going to be about accumulating points. So do not worry if you're not drafted full-time, because you will have chances to make up points on your rivals. Does that make sense?
To me, it does.
Yes, I hope so, because I know I was always expecting at least some sort of rule caveats from you, but here we go. I know,
Never,
Mr. Pedantic. Here is your eligibility for tonight. So, any driver who raced in the Cup Series last season but did not make the playoffs in Season 9, so that includes myself, so I am not able to be drafted tonight. Any driver who's raced in the Kia Series over the last 8 seasons. Any driver who's showing a willingness to attend all the races, regularly interacts and positive voices and vibes within the community, shown aptitude or circuit willingness, or drivers that Jacko has personally protected. There is
really?
There is
that last
one specific driver that is was on the cut list that unfortunately we've had the Jacko gods have come down and protected. But
that is some bullshit.
here you go, Dory, and this is a real pool. So these are the drivers that can be drafted tonight. So we've got quite a few of them. Have you got any there on the list that you'd like to see potentially getting drafted tonight?
Niels. I would love to see Niels make a return because that is great. I would also love to see. Is he on the list? Easty?
Easty is not on the list.
Oh, that is a shame. Because I would have loved to see him return as well.
Oh, no.
Christian Harato, right?
Is, yes, Christian is on the list. Sorry,
Okay. Oh, nice. Because I would like to see those two return. I would like to see a Rosamond return. I would like to see. Who's that guy last? I would like to see him return.
I mean, that's categorically not happening. But
I know.
But you technically you are eligible. So
yeah, I figured. Interesting pick. Who I also see here is. Can I find him? Kyle Smith.
It's a great one, isn't it? It's a great pick there.
Just because he did one race on a pad, or so to say, that because he was out of it for a long time and he had to get back in. He smoked the field and then slowed down on the final 2 laps. And something I want to see as well. Danny Quinn.
Danny Quinn's back in the talent pool.
Quinn.
He is able, of course, a 4-time C5 visitor, but never a winner. We've got
0% success rate.
We've got, because he didn't make the playoffs last season, the all-time wins holder in the Cup Series, Jamie Wright, is eligible to be picked.
Oh wow! Because he didn't do the playoffs last season.
Yeah,
of course.
So a big list. I have.
There is a name missing though, or am I looking over it? Because I don't see no Garrett Hall.
No, because I made the playoffs last season, so I can't be drafted. So
fair enough. So did Quinn though, right?
So Quinn, the caveat with Quinn is that he started the playoffs on minus points. So technically, he actually started on, whilst he was in the playoffs, he started on below the standard playoff point and was eliminated before he even had a chance to race.
So being a crybaby, leaving the chat makes you eligible for the draft.
Yes. So there is your
sweet.
There's your point for next season. If you want to get into the Key Series, just bitch and whine in the Cup Series. So that is your driver pool that can be drafted tonight. And where will you be racing? Well, take a look at this.
It's time, it's here, the Kia Series draft.
Dan, we're back. And hopefully all is well. Yuri.
With your mic on mute.
No. There's we'll double unmute it because I've got two microphones open at the moment. So you might either be able to hear me echo or you'll or you'll just hear the one, hopefully. But any thoughts on the calendar coming up, Mr. Hasselager?
Sorry?
Any thoughts on the calendar?
Oh, I love the calendar. The fact that the Kia Series is going to finish in France is just amazing. And, well, hopefully, if I'm just looking at these guys and they all get drafted, then, except for that final one. If these guys just get drafted, we're in for one hell of a fight for the C5. If the top 4 of them, or the top 5 of them, make it to the C5, we're in for an amazing finish of the season of Kia.
And as you see, we've got the number 1 pick odds. So there will be a 2-minute timer where the Kia Series gods are currently picking their from that talent pool that we showed you earlier. As you see, Sullivan Lewis, last season's champion, 3-1. Jamie Wright, as I said, in there, a 5-1 shot to go at number 1. Of course, hasn't been in JACKOCAR for a while. Danny Quinn dropping down from the Cup Series at 7s. Jamie Bromley, of course, Splinter, 18-1. Ben Harrett, of course, making an appearance, winning the Speedway last season, 6-1. And Kai Langston, number 1. Well, it's a long shot. It's a Leicester City title, that is. It's 5,000-1. But all things can happen. So let us know who you think is going to go number 1 in the comments, guys. Be interested to find out who you think is going to go, because we are now going to hit the timer with 2 minutes on the clock before we see the number 1 pick. Yuri, your thoughts on who might go here at number 1?
Well, number 1 out of all of those guys we've just saw, out of the top picks, Jamie Wright.
It's a great chance. Great chance.
The all-time Cup Series race winner, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the stats of Cup Series because not my tier, bro, as Mr. League owner always says. I'm pretty sure that he's got some very good-looking stats, as we just saw, and it's the opportunity to come back. And if he's a bit out of shape, then he'll fit right into the All-Star season next season.
And we've got Harry thinking that it's going to be Jacko getting a bump up through the lottery into the number 1 spot. Rico thinking Kaya. Yeah, Rico thinking Kaya. I mean, he's in the talent pool. He can get drafted. And they've got a minute on the clock to make their final decision. And the guys funneling away in the Kia Series will be putting through the pick, I should say, through to the Kia Series commissioner. That will be reading it out on stage in 40 seconds time. And well, you've got about 30 seconds, Yuri. Just sum up what do you think about the draft concept?
I'm not really very familiar with it, but so far I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. It's just tense, right? Who's going to be in next season, and potentially who's going to lose out on their seats compared to last season?
Yeah, massively. And as you say, not everyone will be drafted. There will be free agents at the end of this evening. Some tears may be had, some shed, but as I said, it's going to be a race for everyone. With 5 seconds left, let's go to our Kia Commissioner for your first pick of the evening.
With the first pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, Kia Series select Ben Harrett.
Well, there we go. Number 1. Ben Harrett is your number 1 pick for the Kia Series. Coming up, Season 8 goes to Mr. Harrett. A huge name dropping down into the Kia Series, making it a double race week for him. 10 races to his name. And, of course, he comes in as a 2-time Cup Chase winner. Yuri, what do you think of the pick?
That's not a bad pick. He's I didn't even know he had 10 starts. That's nice. Yeah, 2-time Cup Chase winner. If you can't do it in Cup, you got to do it in Kia, and rightfully pick one. He will be the favorite.
Yeah, he is indeed. As Ben comes in with a Speedway win in both the Cup and the Kia Series. So he's got to look at himself as being a huge favourite, knowing that in December, come the Cup Series C5, if he can get himself into that C5, that is definitely where he'll be aiming to pick up a third win. But as we've seen, Yuri, across the entire season so far, in both the last 3 seasons, I think the Speedways appeared in the Cup Series, that anything can happen. We can see crashes on the last lap. Of course, we saw one that gave Ben his first win in the Cup Series, a crash between, I think it was Jake and others involved in that one that gifted the win to Ben. So it can literally turn on a dime.
Yeah, but also at the same time that Ben, the season prior, he got royally screwed over by his own teammate in the form of Jake, who punted him around when he was fighting Leroy for a C5 appearance. And that time it went Leroy's way. So, yeah, you can win there, you can lose there. You're either going to win big or you're going to lose big. So,
as Sully's complaining that there's a 2-minute gap between each pick, don't worry, that's just for the top 3. They're the big ones, Sully. Don't worry, I've got you covered. We won't be pushing you too on. You don't have to sit down too long. You can go back to sweating clubs. But 30 seconds left in this one, and but no bias here. We've got a ton of speed drivers on the list. We've got the likes of Matt Roseman's on the list. We've got the likes of supposedly Yuri, but as I said, he's not getting picked. I've put my foot down with that. But 14 seconds left to go, and will we see any other big names from the Cup Series making an appearance? Let's go over to our Kia commissioner.
With the second pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, Kia Series select Sullivan Lewis.
Well, it's last season's champion. It's Sullivan Lewis comes in as your number 2 pick on the season. As I said, 22 races, Season 8 Kia Series champion, Sullivan Lewis. Another big hitter to start us off, Yuri.
yes, indeed. Second pick, expected him to be a little bit lower, but top 3 picks for sure. This is a good pick. This is indeed, as you said, your last season's champion, but also who just on the final race where he won the championship broke a long-standing record of most wins in a season. So watch out for Sullivan Lewis. He's definitely gonna be there in the C5 in France. And
took that record off of the Hasselager family, I believe.
I don't care. I didn't have it, so.
And that is another driver who's not in the talent pool to be drafted is Leroy.
It is an all-star season after all, right? You gotta have at least 2 Kia Series championships or be a recent Kia Series champion winner.
True. And we are trying to limit the amount of Dutch language within the league because
Wow.
because I mean, I don't make the rules.
Yes, you do. You pretty much took rain out of Ben and Michael's heads here.
So, let's not say anything too rash here. It's not like this is all been concocted. But a minute left to go before the last of the top 3 picks, the big picks in the league. Everyone wants to be in the top 3, of course, but really. Well, in JACKOCAR, you kind of want to be in the top 4, especially if you're in the playoffs, and of course that lucky loser coming through the chase. Chase winner in this one's going to be fascinating because we know that we're going to get a stacked grid this season. And, well, we'll get to the end of the draft, and I'm sure...
Wait, time out. The third Matt on the list hasn't even driven a single JACKOCAR race.
Sorry,
who is this scrub there?
That is
in the middle row, second from last.
That is a good point, but I've heard rumblings. There have been rumblings as we're going to go to our
Don't make me believe.
Kia Series commissioner for pick 3.
With the third pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, Kia Series select Mike Kelterborn, Germany.
Big pick there over in Germany. It's MK Bourne making a return to the Kia series. One back in Season 1. He was a Season 1 Kia Series C5 competitor. He won around Singapore a few seasons ago. Yuri, Mike Kelterborn, back down in the Kia Series.
Don't care. I've got nothing to say about this pick. Go on, let's go.
MK Bourne, of course, a favourite of the Team Speed drivers, having often met on circuit. One of those, of course, Pete Knighton, who is technically eligible to be picked tonight. So we'll see if Pete, who would be disappointed to have dropped at least below the top 3, but already starting off with Ben Harrett, Sullivan Lewis, and Mike Kelterborn. What do you think of that for a top 3?
Can't believe this is your third pick. Well, Kia Series third pick. This is outrageous. Well, let's keep it professional then, right? As Jess rightfully said, is one of the OGs. He was there in Season 1, as you can also see it on the screen. He was doing rather well. He actually made it to the C5 in Bahrain, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't really know what happened. He probably crashed out, like he did in his first Cup Series C5 appearance. Don't know. Don't ask me. Didn't care. Didn't watch it back. But no, this is a strong pick for the Kia Series.
Yeah, I think we've started off very well here. So let's go over to our commissioner for pick number 4.
With the 4th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, Kia Series select Dan Price, England.
Okay, let's go.
Dan Price coming in high, a high pick there at 4.
I didn't know you had actual real life footage of Dan.
Oh well, that's actually how he trains for his racing course. Coming in last season on debut, picking up a win around Monaco, and so you've got to think if you're Dan, that's a lot of responsibility there to come in picked at 4.
Absolutely, Dan Price. A surprise. Not gonna say he made the C5. It was only a couple of weeks ago, but I'm already lost because it's Kia Series. I seriously hope this works, Garrett, because I can't do another season of that. Absolutely amazing win on debut, gifted by a faulty restart let's not go there, by someone else, and ended up carrying that momentum up to the C5, where he didn't fully capitalize on it, but here he is, pick 4, so statistically making the C4, C5 on playoff campaign, having another shot at it.
Yeah, great chance for Dan Price to come in, put his name down as a potential 2-time C5 competitor at the end.
I'm just looking into the chat, and you don't speak Dutch, and I agree with you that we need to try and minimize the Dutch, because MG, that's Michel Goris, by the way, says schiet even op, which means hurry up. So I'm with you.
I'm going to start making a 5-minute timer in between picks now, specifically
I'm
for
with
Michel.
Yeah.
So let's go over to our commissioner for pick number 5.
With the 5th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, the Kia Series select Matt Lester.
I tell you what though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is really... That is bloody lovely.
Well, he's a fan of it, and so are we. Matt Lester coming in 5th. Top 5 for the man that spent last season touching up ladyboys in Thailand. 37 races to his name. He is a 2-time Kia C5 competitor, not able to hit the heights of champion just yet, but another solid pick there for the Kia Series, Yuri.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, because I was going to go there as well. Too busy chasing ladyboys, because he actually preferred that over making a C5 or a chase campaign appearance, playoff appearance, because he actually won a race in the regular season. He was on his way and then decided to bugger off to Thailand and Japan and God knows where he's been with his ladyboys. Happy to have him here. Strong contender if he gets his eyes set on the prize and keeps his mind in it as well. Because we saw in a certain Brazil race that he wasn't too happy on what happened around him. Left that behind him, and he's well on his way to a potential C5 appearance yet again.
Yep, he'll be wanting to head to the C5. Of course, last season ever in the Kia Series. Will he make it a 3-time C5 appearance? So let's go over for pick number 6.
With the 6th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, the Kia Series select Florian Mayer, Germany.
Another debutant last season. It's Florian that comes in from Germany. 10 races to his name. He was a Season 7 C5 competitor along with Dan Price and, of course, Jacko in there as well. Well, Florian, a very, very good debut season from him last season, Yuri.
Absolutely. I'm not entirely sure whether you want to race. I should have done some stats for this, but hey, I was too busy playing instead, of course. Anyway, indeed a strong contender. Didn't quite work out in Monza the way he hoped it would. Got stuck behind. Jacko for a bit, got stuck behind. Michel for a bit. It was all kinds of not going his way. But as you mentioned, he will be looking for another C5 appearance. And right now, we're going to start wondering, are these guys going for chase campaigns, or are these guys trying to go to the playoffs and make life as hard for each other as possible?
Yeah, absolutely so. As that's 2 Germans picked in the top 6 as well. So a really nice pick up there for Team Germany, coming in at pick 3 and at pick 6. So let's head over to our commissioner, Mr. Shaw, for pick number 7.
With the 7th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, the Kia Series select Danny Quinn.
Hello. Fancy seeing you here.
Well, he's back for another go. It's Danny Quinn, 60 races in the Kia Series. He's up there in the top 5 most appearances in the Kia Series. But, of course, it's 4 Kia Series C5 appearances and 0 championships to his name. He's got an opportunity to right that wrong and finally get in there and make it 5 appearanrances, but with 1 win. Yuri, it's a big call. Quinn being back. Will he make it a 5th appearance in the C5? But more importantly, can he finally get to that top step?
Well, just looking at the chat, I've already seen Waze in the chat, probably hoping that he can make a return. I've not yet seen Quinn in the chat, and he'll be probably, well, I'm just gonna say it, having a fucking stiffy over the fact that he's now back to Kia, where he can race for victories and wins, because you gotta say, that 20% win rate is looking a lot better than 0 out of 5.
Yeah.
If he makes the C5, that is.
Yes, that is true. So some work to do for Quinn, who was probably one of the drivers of the early part of last season in the Cup Series. Definitely one of the most consistent, getting himself into the playoff on points. Of course, did rage quit from the chat and therefore started under the limit and basically got himself eliminated before he'd even started the racing. But he will be coming in and he'll be happy, I'm sure, with a top 8 pick there. A pick at number 7 is Danny Quinn. But our Kia Commissioner will be bringing you pick number 8.
With the 8th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, the Kia Series select Michel Goris.
Well, it's the most miserable man in the Netherlands. It's Michel Goris with 35 races in the Kia Series. He's a 4-time race winner. And Yuri, he'll be, I'm sure, delighted with the fact that he's gone below Quinn. But Michel, a top 8 pick for him.
I think that's right where he belongs. As you look at last season, okay, granted. Last season he got eliminated on the fact that he was on vacation. He'll probably gonna blame that on vacation again this season, or arguably on the fact that Ajax is playing. I have no idea whether or not they'll make Champions League, but he'll probably hope so. He says goat in the chat. I'm not entirely sure I'll agree with that, because Quinn's still above you, Michel, so be wary of that.
I mean, Ajax didn't make the Champions League, so he's got no fucking excuse not to be at every single race next season as well.
See, that's how little I know about football. Fuck that. Anyway, yeah, pick 8, and so far, if these are the top 8 drivers, then damn, dude. Looking at like
this is
very talented drivers.
Exactly, this is a stacked line. I'm really happy with how the picks have gone so far. But does it get better? We're heading over to our commissioner for pick number 9.
With the 9th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series Draft, the Kia Series select Harry Collier.
It's HC himself, Mr. Collier, the smartest man in the grid. Look at him in his shirt there, looking down at his phone like an absolute boomer. But 40 races for Harry. 3 of those have been on the podium. Of course, he took a stunning pole position at Singapore last season. Didn't quite manage to turn it into a race win. Could have won later on in the season. Just kind of fell away in the late stages of that one. But I'm sure Harry, after where he started from a few seasons ago, will be very happy to be picked at 9 here in the top 10.
Yeah, a top 10 appearance from the guy who just scored 1 podium and one pole position, and decided to give the win to Jacko, even though he was already advanced on points on position at the moment in Spa. So I don't really know why the bookmakers gave this the 9th pick, but congratulations, Harry. You kind of deserve it, I guess. I don't know, but happy to see Harry back for another season in Kia.
Yeah, well, as I said, there's going to be movers and shakers. There may be some faster drivers that slip down the order after their. We saw some people perhaps not having the greatest of seasons last season. Did that affect the talent scouts? Did they think that maybe some of the guys in the Cup Series aren't maybe up to scratch and may have they slipped? But definitely one of those that got a late season boost was Harry Collier. Goes at number 9. But let's head over to our commissioner. Pick number 10. We're halfway through.
With the 10th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series Draft, the Kia Series select Jack Ricketts, Bournemouth.
Well, his name's above the door, but he's the least popular person here. It's Jack Ricketts. 76 races in the Kia Series. That is the 3rd most, I believe. 2-time Kia C5 appearances. Well, and last season, we don't want to talk about it. Ended up in the wall very early on in that one. It was so bad, even I didn't watch that race. But Yuri Jacko, a top 10. I don't think he'll be overly pleased with slipping that far down.
Slipping that far down, he never should have been up there in the first place. I had him at like pick 15 or 16. Like this is this is what owning the league does, I guess. Yeah, what do we say about Jacko? Won a few races. Some of them were gifted to him by his not official teammates, Team Speed. Some of them were won by some penalties, and others were apparently won because Harry Collier decided he didn't want to be a Kia Series winner. Anyway, pick 10 for the draft, and yeah, not so bad after all. Here we have our first meh pick.
It's Jacko with the first meh pick for Yuri. Well, he will be bumping towards 90 races at the end of this season. So a long-time stalwart of the league, Mr. Carr himself, will be coming in the 10th position. But over to our commissioner as we start to go through pick 11 through 20.
With the 11th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series Draft, the Kia Series select Michael Okeke.
It is Aston Martin's own Michael Okeke with 32 races in the Kia Series with 4 podiums. Michael coming in at 11 and getting his name on the sheet for the full-time roster in the season upcoming. And Michael, who could have won races last season, and well, unfortunately, especially the early parts of last season was just making errors here and there. And Yuri, we had so many races in the last part of the last season where we thought that he was going to come through, even potentially the Championship 5. He could have won that race, but just not quite to be for Mr. Okeke.
Oh, the amount of times we have been cheering for OKK in the booth, where we were like, oh, he's got the right strategy, he's got the best tires, he's got the most pace, and then he decided to hook walls in China, or touch rear wings in Italy, or you name it. He has probably done it. But a pick 11, and I'm gonna say it, he's gonna be in the playoffs if he keeps his nose out of trouble. He's gonna be a very strong chase contender, regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is Michael's season. He's definitely he's been gearing up, and hopefully, finally, he can put one together and get himself into a Championship 5. But pick number 12 is upcoming with our Kia Series commissioner.
With the 12th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series Draft, the Kia Series select Matt Shepard.
Yes! We can keep counting front wings lost!
The man that keeps front wing designers in business, it's Matt Shepard. With 40 races to his name and 1 win, Season 6 at Abu Dhabi, as Shep gets in. The man that last season literally could not keep his car intact throughout the majority of every single race. But Shep getting involved with his 4th season here in Kia.
Absolutely, and at one point he looks to be a very strong contender in previous seasons. He's kind of fallen off, as you said so yourself. Keeps losing parts of his car, and I'm just wondering. Hopefully, 2024 is going to be a better game for him, better possibilities and better opportunities to keep front wings attached to his nose cone.
Yeah, absolutely so. Shep be wanting a little bit more this season. We'll see if it comes. But lucky number 13 and unlucky for some. Is it going to be lucky for this one? Pick 13 is incoming.
With the 13th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series Draft, the Kia Series select Robin Border.
It is Robin Border, another German that makes it in. So Team Germany adds another one to their list with 41 races in the Kia Series, with 1 win back in Season 7 at China. Robin Border, who I'm sure probably, given some of the pace that we've seen from him over the last few seasons, will be slightly disappointed to have slipped down to 13th. But I think the end of last season kind of just fell away from him a little bit, Yuri.
Yeah, started off so strong with very strong contenders in challenges in the first couple of races, where he comfortably led the regular season points tally. But in the playoffs, did he even turn up? Like, where was he? If he can find that pace back, he might be a contender for the playoffs. But if he falls off like that, it's just going to be a really quick and early exit.
Yeah. It looks as though the scouts have looked at this and thought that he was on the way down. He's trended down to 13. He was definitely looking at a top 10 pick earlier on in the season, but well, given the way that his season ended up, he slipped down to 13, but does get himself onto the full-time roster for Season 8. But pick 14 is in. Let's head over to our commissioner.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade.
Well, we've had our first trade of the evening, and it's Scott Hayes that has been traded to the Kia Series. And well, we will have the trade wrap up at the end of the draft. But Scott Hayes coming in at 14. He is actually the Kia commentary has acquired his draft rights. So Scott Hayes, with 19 races to his name, best result of 8th. He was definitely protected in his draft rights. He comes in at 14. And Yuri, looking at the state of this grid, Scott is a lucky boy to be not only at 14, that's a huge hit for where he is, but to be on the grid in what's looking low as a very strong grid for Mr. Hayes.
Sorry, but I'm just looking at these achievements. Best result, 8th, where we had multiple podiums, multiple pole positions, a few winners, a few C5 appearances, any kind of different stat, and this is just best result, 8th? Might as well put in like a DNF percentage rate of like 89 or something, because that's an achievement. Anyway, yeah, clearly protected by the league owner. pick 14. I'm expecting you to fight for the chase campaign then, Scott.
Yeah, so that is a JACKOCAR protection racket, I believe that is, that Scott Hayes has somehow managed to snake his way really into Season 8. But Scott Hayes is your number 14 pick, traded with the draft rights acquired by the Kia Series. But pick number 15 is in. Let's head over to our commissioner.
With the 15th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series draft, the Kia Series select Jessica Ball.
Well, she's a two-time chase champion with 85 Kia Series races, and Jess enters another season in the Kia Series, coming in at 15, which, whilst it's a little bit lower than I'm sure that what she was hoping for, I think coming in as a two-time chase champion, she will be very happy and looking to make it a triple champion, whether that's through the chase or even sneaking away into the C5. Yuri, do you think this is a potential season that Jess needs to be picking up the points to get in through the chase again, or do you think she can sneak into the playoffs in the points?
Well, I'll get to that later on, but like as you mentioned, she might have hoped to be a bit higher up the list, up the pick list, and not gonna lie, she should have been at least one position higher, because look at those achievements compared to the earlier pick. 2 times Kia Series chase champion, and let's not forget, 1-time race winner in Australia a few seasons ago. So to come back to your question, I think Jess needs to stop picking up the pieces and start going for some things, because you can't just drive cleanly and wait for other people to make mistakes now, because this grid will start making less mistakes. If you're looking at being pick 15 compared to all the guys who are above you, you need to get your elbows out, and I hope Jess gets to do that, and I hope she goes through another C5.
Yeah, totally agree. This is a season to go flat out, no giving positions up, no being friendly. Everyone is going to have to fight for every point this season, because with the longer season, it's going to get even hotter coming towards the end of the regular season, getting into the playoffs. But Jess coming in at pick 15. Let's go over to our commissioner, because I think we might have our second trade of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade.
And it's Bazza that does get traded down into the Kia Series. The potential rumblings that he may have had a call up to the Cup Series, but a Cup Series and Kia Series trade was made behind the scenes in the JACKOCAR offices. And the 2-time Kia Series race winner with 84 races to his name, he makes it the first Welsh driver on our list. Of course, there's several other Welsh drivers on the talent pool that are still eligible in the last few picks, but Bazza extending his Kia Series involvement, Yuri.
Good to see that. Good to see that. Often criticized for his aggressive defending. I personally, in this league, don't have that much of an issue with it. Happy to see him return after earlier mentions that he was gonna hang up the gloves, the helmet, the steering wheel, call it what you want to call it. Happy to see him come back, hopefully to make us surprised by some surprise results.
Absolutely. So Bazza will be ready to sink his teeth into the next season. As you say, very defensive, very aggressive driver on his day, but an absolute staple of JACKOCAR and of the Kia Series. He comes in at pick 16. Pick 17 is in. Let's head over to our commissioner.
We have a trade. The Kia Series have traded 2 future first-round picks for Jamie Griffiths.
Oh, it's a big one coming in at 17. That's a huge trade to be made this late in the game. Jamie Griffiths, or Jamie Numbers if you're in the Cup Series, he is now a Kia Series driver. 100 JACKOCAR race starts. 1 race of those was in the Kia Series, to which he said, never again, that was chaos. Well, it looks as though the Kia Series have acquired his talents for the final season. Big call there at 17, Yuri.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one race he did. Doesn't really matter though, because 100 JACKOCAR starts. That's still better than 8th as a best result. Jamie Griffiths, indeed, happy to have him here. Pick 8, pick 17. It's a bit low on the list. I expected him to be higher.
Yeah, clearly a big trade was made there with the Kia. They might have offered the Cup Series something decent in return, but Jamie Griffiths is now a Kia Series driver for Season 8. All-Star rate is looking at that a little bit hotter. But pick 18 is in, and let's head over and hear who's been called.
With the 18th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series Draft, the Kia Series select Jake Warrior.
It's the man that necessitated the move to medium traction. It's Jake Warrior, who returned last season full-time, 37 races to his name, 5 Kia Series race wins, one of those so fast in France that we had to change the rules. But Jake Warrior, after what was a bit of a kind of an unknown season last season, we kind of didn't really expect too much of him, but very, very consistent, especially towards the end of the season, Yuri.
Absolutely, I do remember being stuck behind him in what would be Speedway Turn 1. Don't quite remember from the top of my head what corner that is on the normal France layout, where in the wet he just consistently pulled half a second to 8/10 to potentially even a second coming out of the corner, rightfully banning no TC in the in all of JACKOCAR, and also well, pissing off quite a few people actually, more than just Jake. He came back last season, indeed showed pretty good results and racecraft during the season. Hopefully this season he can get a little bit higher up than he did last.
Yeah, so big season from Jake to finish off Kia Series. Can he get himself involved in those top 10 fights that we saw, especially a few seasons ago when he was a Championship 5 caliber driver? 2 more picks are coming, and one of them is 19.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade.
Well, we've had another trade in, and it's Dustin Rolco at 19, slipping down to 19. That's a big call there. Did he potentially just get missed off the list, and he's been traded at the last minute? The German makes it another German driver in the... I think this is the first time that we've not had like sort of the Dutch drivers as your second string contingent in a league.
Listen. I am. This has gone too far. How many Germans do you want to have in this tier, man? Like, this is 5? 25% of the tier is German? Come on.
I'm glad you'll be able to translate for us.
No, I can't. I don't speak German. It's a shit
what's
language.
the point of you then? That's the whole point of people that from Netherlands. The only thing they can do is speak about 17 languages.
Well, 3 or 4, but yeah, okay. Dustin, yeah. One-time Kia Series winner, Season 6, Hungary. I know who was on pole. Very strong pole position that race. No one cares though. No one cares about that one pole because you got to win it, and that's what Dustin did. He was also pretty okay in the beginning of the season, if I remember correctly. I probably don't, but happy to see him. He's an okay lad. Yeah.
Dustin would be happy to get himself as a full-time driver in next season's league, and as you say, that win back in Hungary, taking the win away from Danny Quinn, who I believe lost it on a penalty. So he comes in with a win to his name. So one more pick to come. And, well, pick 20. Who is it going to be?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade.
Kia Series select Jamie Wright. With the 20th pick in the JACKOCAR Kia Series Draft, the Kia Series select Jamie Wright.
Well, Jamie Wright getting the call there. The all-time JACKOCAR point or race winner.
That can't be right.
That is a huge call.
I know he's eligible, but that's. I mean, it is an all-star season. I'll give you that, but that is gonna be taking it a little bit out of the context what we're trying, what the JACKOCAR team has been trying to achieve, right? Like more excitement up front. He's just gonna walk away with it.
You've got to think that he's going to come back in a season off to refresh. And Jamie Wright's coming back in, but into Kia, not even into the Cup Series.
He'll just struggle for 3 races, and then he gets the hang of it, and he just buggers off and wins everything.
Oh, hold on. I've just heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade.
A trade at the last stage, right at the end of this one. They've seen the Jamie Wright pick, and the Cup Series aren't happy. Well, who have they picked?
Behold the King of Kings. There is only one. Time to play the game.
We're so back, baby!
Time to play the game.
With 70 races, the Belgian, your 2-time champion, Yuri Hasselager, returns to the Kia Series.
It's all about the game, and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it. All about your stand, if you can play it. It's all about playing.
Well, Yuri, what do you think about that? That is a huge call. Returning to the Kia Series, you finally got what you were after.
Oh man, there's only 4 people now who can make it 3 championships in entirety of JACKOCAR, and that is, well, if Jamie Wright's not turning up to Cup, that is at least. That is, if I'm not mistaken, it's Ben Shaw, it's Khalifa Al Khalifa, and Jake O'Sullivan in the Cup Series, and then, well, the Belgian in the Kia Series.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so a huge call there coming in. And, well, we're going to have to find out what that trade is. But here is your full draft. That is an unbelievably stacked set of drivers ready for Season 8. Ben Harrett, your number 1 pick. Sullivan Lewis, last season's champion. Mike Kelterborn, Daniel Price. Matt Lester were your top 5. Florian Mayer, Danny Quinn, Michel Goris, Harry Collier and Jack Ricketts all went in the top 10 in the lottery. And then Michael Okeke, Matt Shepherd, Robin Border, Scott Hayes, Jess Ball, Barry Baldwin, Jamie Griffiths, Jake Warrior, Dustin Rolko and Yuri Hasselager are your drivers that will make up the full-time roster next season. And Yuri, looking at that lineup, you've got to think that's got to be the strongest Kia lineup we've ever had.
Oh, there's no thinking in that. That is a fact. We had a pretty strong lineup in Season 1, and we had a pretty strong lineup in Season 2. Then 3, 4, 5, the top was pretty consistent and pretty close. And then it just buggered off. But the fact of the matter is that this is the strongest lineup Kia Series has ever seen.
Yep, absolutely so. But
the amount of race wins, the amount of race appearances, the amount of pole positions, fastest lap, etc., in there is amazing.
Yeah, and we've got, I believe, in total over 500 Kia Series appearances as well. So
easily.
It's a huge roster. But as I said at the start, this does mean that we do have a couple of free agents. And here is your free agent pool. So these are the drivers that, whilst not a full-time driver, will have the ability to drop in for races, and also in the comparison to the Kia Series, where if you're a reserve, you're just a body, you will still be able to make the Championship 5. You can still win races. Your points will be added to the tally. You will be added to the Championship standings. If you win races in the regular season, you're going into the playoffs. You will eliminate the driver that finishes last in the playoffs from their contention. So it's even harder now to make the playoffs. And of course, if you're a free agent and you're reserving in the chase, you can still win the chase. So make sure, if you are a free agent, to stay active, stay involved, because you may be called upon. There are some huge names on that free agent pool. We've got multiple-time podium and race winners. We've got Jamie Bromley in there. We've got Matt Roseman, of course, a race winner previously. Jordan Lane, he's a free agent. Pete Knighton, that's a big name to come in there as well. And also some Kia long-term drivers in the likes of Thomas, Isaac and Rico that will be wanting to sink their teeth into Season 8.
Yeah, and a debutant in the free agent pool. At least I hope he's going to be a debutant. They're in the form of Matt Ryan. People from VSL will know who he is. Very happy to see him. And don't remember, Thomas was very strong in Australia one time. Isaac has had an amazing chase campaign in season 3, if I'm not mistaken. Paul, a Cup Series race winner. The best Cup Series race winner, by the way. If you know, you know. Pete Knighton given up a chase, a race win for the possibility of a fellow teammate winning, but that backfired and
that didn't work
somehow. Yeah, Jacko somehow managed to get in it. Jordan Lane, very happy to see him on the free agent pool. Hope to see him racing in the Kia series, because he can be a really strong contender if he gets his act together. Deck. Interesting pick. On Matt Ryan, we don't care. Already mentioned it. And Matt Rosamond, yeah, previous race winner, very strong chase. Also a regular season champion. So that's a strong free agent pool.
Yeah, and stick around. Don't go just yet. The draft is over. The new rules will be announced very shortly as well. So there are some different rules coming into Kia. So stick around for the next 5 minutes or so, and we'll run through them. But here are your trades that were made in the draft. As you can see, it was 2 future, a season 10 and a season 11 first round pick. That's season 11, that's basically me trying to convince Jacko to allow a season 11 into the Cup Series, were made for Jamie Griffiths. The draft rights for Barry Baldwin for cash exemptions. I took a bung to get Bazza back in. Dustin was traded to Kia for a future first round pick and 2 second round picks in season 11 and season 10. And the Kia Series trades with commentary, so specifically made with me. Pete Knighton was traded to the Kia Series commentary booth for Yuri Hasselager to get a seat on the grid. So it will be Pete Knighton joining me on commentary for the majority of next season. And Scott Hayes' protected draft rights were activated by the Kia Series. He was under a protection racket by Jack Ricketts. So he was allowed back in, even though, as Yuri said, a best result of 8 for Scott. So if he's not beating that next season, then that's going to look very, very poorly on Mr. Okar. But the odds have been updated for the championship, and there you go. On screen, you can see who are your odds for champion. And, well, you've got to think the number 1 pick coming in evens high there for Ben Harrett. Looks as though the money is going to be heading towards him. Sullivan Lewis, last season's champion, 8-13. Yuri, looking at some of the odds there, who would you put a 5 on if you had to think about some...
Myself? Imagine the returns!
I can say that the money hasn't been coming in for you, because I think there's potentially going to be some shenanigans that happen to make sure you do not make it a 3-time championship.
No, I swear, anyone who puts money on me, I will just take a bribe, and I will just bribe the other one. So, look, listen, Ben, Sully, Mike, Dan, Matt, anyone who's listening, put a $5 on me. We'll all be rich.
Well,
fucking rich. Loaded.
Jacko bet will be in play. Of course, the Jacko Ball starts this Thursday, so make sure that will be. Hopefully, we're going to upload as much of that to YouTube as possible. The Jacko Ball European Championships. As I said, there are new rules coming into the Kia Series next season. So let's show you some of those rules. So, as part of the draft, as we noted, they are now free agents. These reserves are now able to compete for the championship, the same as full-time drivers, as I was just saying. If a free agent wins a race in the regular season, they will advance to the playoffs and remove one of the places to the full-time drivers. They are eligible to compete in the chase and can advance if they win or outscore others during the chase. That will leave us with the fastest drivers for the C5. Your full-time drivers, you can miss no more than 3 races in the 16-race season. If you miss 3 on your 4th, you will be removed as a full-time driver and drop as free agent, and your free agents will sign a contract to your seat. So that means all you full-time drivers, you cannot try and cheese your way into the chase, and you equally cannot just decide halfway through that you want to take a holiday. This is going to change things up for the race, but for quali, it's even worse. The format is going to be amended. Of course, we've got an all-star league, so previously if you were first in the standings, you would come out last in quali. Well, we are reversing that. So now, the drivers at the bottom of the standings will come out last in qualifying. So all your drivers at the top, they will be the first ones out on track to clear all the dirt and grime off the top of the circuit when it's nice and green. And then we'll get, hopefully, a slightly more balanced points order at the end of qualifying. Yuri, a thought on the different qualifying setup for Kia compared to Cup?
Listen, I've been saying this since that format came out. Fastest guy should go out first, slowest guy should go out last, just to make the grid that little bit more interesting. So happy that finally someone's doing it. By the way, does this mean that I'm going to come out last in the first race?
We are going to go on seeding, so the seeding will be slightly different. Seeding will come out before the season starts. Of course, the new chat will be made shortly, but one final new set of rules. Here we go. So any drivers found to be quitting in the pit lane, so any retirements in the pit lane, that is even if you've got a heap of damage, retiring before the end or crashing across the line or rage quitting, of course, you will get -3 playoff points. So you will be hurt if we're not having anyone retiring in the pit lane. I was sick of watching that last season across both Kia and Cup.
Looking at you, Isaac.
So none of that. You will be getting a slap on the wrist from the stewards and also a -3 points. If a free agent wins a race, the rest of the grid is going to donate to a JACKOCAR chosen charity. Your discretion of how much you want to donate is up to you, but it is going to be it's such a commendable achievement for the free agent to win a race that everyone will be supporting to do so. This is one that was added. Contact made under the safety car is no longer tolerated. Drivers are expected to give each other room to accelerate or decelerate. You do not need to be following someone at within 2 meters when the safety car has got at least another lap. And then equally, if a driver is driving slowly, then go on.
Yeah, everybody knows prior to the race starting or getting underway where the restart zone is. Whenever the safety car gets called in and the sector 2 split, you don't need to be up someone's ass.
Exactly.
Unlike you love that. It's Pride Month after all. You do you. In racing though, don't need that. Don't need that. As soon as you enter the final couple of corners or the final couple of 100 yards, 200 yards, then you can be close because then you're going to restart the race. Within a kilometer or a mile, preferably of your choice of distance, you don't need to be this close.
Bang on. Yeah, I agree totally, Mr. Hasselager. So that will be coming in next season. Penalties won't be removed, and if we find that you've made contact with someone under the safety car, the argument of they were driving too slowly will not wash, because you should not be closed up to someone until literally the final corner before the safety car is effectively when the leader is pacing themselves. So no matter how slowly they're going, you give each other space. That's how it's going to work from now on. But they are your amended rules for the Kia series for All-Star Season 8. Yuri, your final thoughts before we finish off tonight.
Wish we'd done this sooner. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I agree. All you had to do is hand over the reins to someone whose tier it was. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Hopefully you've all enjoyed the draft tonight. As I said, it's going to change up the game, both for full-time drivers and for the free agents. There may even be a few more surprises coming over the coming weeks and months. So do join us in August, where we'll be kicking off the final season of Kia in Monaco before we head to December. The longest ever season in the Kia series. This super speedway in France, which will be taking place probably back on F1 23, so don't throw out your discs if you are in the Kia series. As I said, the new chat will be coming shortly for those in the league. Do make sure you get engaged, keep it as chatty as possible. We don't like the fact that the Kia series chat was absolutely dead over the last 2 seasons, but from myself, Gareth Hall, and from Yuri Hasselager, who is now former commentator and now back to competitor in a last minute trade with the Cup Series. Thank you very much. we will see you in August.
Well, what can I add to that? So yeah, see ya. Bye.
Link spotlight, draft night glow. Bennett #1, he's the star of the show. Sully second pick, he's got the might. Nate comes in third, ready for the fight. They've been dreaming, now it's real. Hearts are racing, can't conceal. Jamie, Jacko, Matt in line. Watch out, boys, it's game time. Watch out, the draft is done. Ben Sully, Nate, under the sun. Jamie, Jacko, Matt in the wings. This is a moment, chasing dreams. Yori and Gareth, they're in the stands, hoping for thrills and making demands. Future stars on the track, playing the game, no going back. They've been dreaming, now it's real. Hearts are racing, can't conceal. Jamie, Jacko, Matt in line. Watch out, boys, it's game time. Watch out, the draft is done. Ben Sully, Nate, under the sun. Jamie, Jacko, Matt in the wings. This is a moment, chasing dreams. Every move, every play, building legends day by day. Your smiles, Garrett cheers. The future's bright, no more fears. Watch out, the draft is done. Ben Sully, May, under the sun. Jamie, Jacko, Matt, Lester, all still alive. This is the moment, chasing the championship fight.